something different. Hey, hey! Hey, hey, hey! Good morning, everybody. It's Ken coming to you live from the Reverend Guitar Circle I Ranch. I think, be honest with you, I'm not even sure. Seems like we started this video, then we stopped it. Then we started it back up again, and then little gal disappeared, left me in here all by myself to fend for myself. So here I am fending for myself. No idea what's going on. But I know this. I hold in my hands the brand new for 2020 Matt West signature model in metallic outfield ivy green. You know, our friends at Chicago Music Exchange named this color. Has something to do with the Cubbies. We used to have this thing in America called baseball. It was fantastically interesting. Teams traveled all over the country, and a guy had a ball, a guy had a bat. There were some bases. The classic American sports ball. A lot of money involved. I don't think we still have that. Why am I talking about baseball? Penny's back. Penny's going to tell me if we're actually doing this show. Are we actually doing a show?
Yeah, it just looks terrible. We checked our mic up.
Well,
we
she's
checked
micing up.
our internet, and our internet's just bad today.
Oh,
The
our
upload is
internet's
just
bad today.
Sorry.
You know what? I heard a bunch of fire trucks. I wonder if somebody took out the internet out there on US Route 20. Is that a thing?
I don't know.
I don't either. I don't know what goes on. Well, then let's just kind of keep it short today.
Yeah.
So what happened at the beginning there, I don't even know. Often Penny will come get me 5 minutes before this broadcast and be like, you know, you got to play. And I'll be like in the middle of like, I don't know, you know, customers and dealers and important stuff, you know. And so today I came in here and sat down, and I had a little idea of what I wanted to play for y'all. And then turns out when the looper was making this little flashing sound, and when I pressed on it with my foot, it went like this. And that's not my playing. That is the playing of Mr. Tim Cornick, who works in our office manager and customer service extraordinaire, Mr. Tim.
Everybody says it looks much better now. So whatever glitch it was,
Excellent.
is gone. So
All right, there you go. Well, here we
go.
are. So anyways, yeah, that is the playing of Mr. Tim, and he is he's a much better chord master than I am, and so I just went for it. I think it's an E, and of course, me doing that I play blues and punk rock, so I'm way out of my element. Mr. Gil Paris should have sat down to do that kind of stuff, but I wung it. I enjoyed it. and I hope you did too. I know that's not necessarily what this guitar was designed for. Matt West of Neck Deep, they play loud and fast and furious, and absolutely awesome band. They were touring the States last year with our friends in, was that Blake? Penn?
What?
Penn's talking on her phone. I think Neck Deep toured with Blake last year. Might have seen him out there. With
Is
that?
that one of those tours that got cut short? No, that was
No.
last year. This year they were supposed to go out with somebody else,
Yeah.
but I don't remember who.
At any rate, young Matt is a Welsh lad and is a very, very good friend of the company. And when we did the signature model came together with Matt because they were on tour. They were on a headlining tour for 2 records ago. This is before the Panic and the Peace and the Panic and all that mess. This is way, way back.
Right.
Summer 2017. And I get a phone call in the day afternoon. Hey, I play in a band, and well, it wasn't even from Matt. I think it was from their TM, asking me if he could bring Matt by the office, but they were going to be coming through Reverend at Ungodly in the morning, and would I be here? Absolutely. And so I met him here at like 7 in the morning, and they actually wheeled in his whole Kemper rig into this room, and he demoed a handful of guitars and got a Jetstream 390 and a double agent from me, which are both still in their touring rig, by the way. And then he played them that night in Grand Rapids at Intersection or Orbit Room. I don't remember where they were up there, but they were up there or something. And called me the next day and told me that the Jetstream was his perfect favorite guitar of all time. But, and I always love it when the guys say the but. That's always my favorite. And he says to me, if this guitar just had a reverse headstock and the single P90 in the bridge, it would be all I'd ever play. And right there, I saw this in my head and was like, oh, yeah, so I know we just met a day ago, but how do you feel about doing a signature model with us? And everybody said I was crazy, and I was. Sometimes crazy things happen on a whim like that. And then I called Naylor, and I told him the idea, and he's like, yeah, that'd be a cool guitar. And then the two of them hammered out some ideas and stuff, and here it is. And since then, we've had some fun with it. So we've offered it in the traditional black and yellow, and I believe we have a handful of each of the black and yellows left, but we're probably not going to make any more of those. So if you're interested in grabbing one of those, just reach out to your favorite local Reverend dealer and grab a black one or a yellow one. What we've been doing with it lately is just custom color runs in these dark roasted maple necks, which look amazing with the reverse headstock. This outfield ivy color from Chicago Music Exchange, which started with Chicago Music Exchange going, do this, and we want to call it this. And then, of course, the color is gorgeous. And so after a couple years now, we're starting to sneak it out on a few other things, including this. We did the shell pink ones with Merchant City.
Foam shrimp pink.
Foam shrimp pink, indeed. Those were out last year. Those are around. They're sought after. My son has one. If anybody has to have one, I tried to sell it a couple weeks ago to somebody who was like, please, please sell me that, please, please. And I went to my boy and said, hey, Nate, can I sell the foam shrimp? And he was like, no. And I was like, yeah, good, because I kind of want to keep it, because I like these. I like these guitars a lot. I do my own little modification to them. I have 2 black ones that I play in my band, Jay Navarro and the Traders. I have a Railhammer Huevos 90 pickup in the bridge because I, my friend, don't have enough finesse to play high gain with the P90. Matt West does, and it sounds awesome. Matt uses a Kemper rig, and it just crushes, man. I mean, it is a vicious, full round, mid accented punk rock speed rhythm tone. It's great.
And he jumps all over the place and still manages to keep the P90 sounding good, which I don't know how he does that, but
well, and then one of the things that we do, of course, is set them upright so that they stay in tune, so he can jump all over the place and be a madman all he wants to.
Yeah, but I mean the fuzz, the hum.
Yeah.
But whatever.
No, yeah,
People
it's
work
great.
with it.
So yeah, the Matt West in the ivy green with the dark roasted maple neck. What, you want to see the back? Sure, check it out. Check it out. This is a dark roasted maple, kind of like Starbucks. When they're dark roasting the coffee beans, they just leave them in the kiln for a little bit longer, which is how the dark roasted maple is achieved. Note our killer 6-bolt neck plate with the Reverend Lightning Bolt logo, tribute to our man Ron Ashton, and put the tortoiseshell trim cavity cover on the back as well. Reverend's locking tuners. Flip this over. You can get a good look at the Pal Faro. Pal Faro fingerboard looks awesome with the roasted maple. Seriously. As does the tortoise. This whole color palette works real well, I think. And of course, as those of you who follow us may know, we make the most versatile single pickup guitars on the planet. And why is that, LG?
Because of the bass contour control.
Because of the bass contour control. So this is all the controls wide open, but you can kick out the bass. And add some twang to that P90, but you can roll out the treble and add some jazz to your P90. See what I did there? God, because I really don't know. So if you know what I did there, just leave it in the comments and be like, you know what you did? You did this. And I was like, yeah, I do that, and it sounds like Wes Montgomery, and I like that. But
this mode or that mode or whatever.
I'm not a theory guy. I'm a rock guy. I always was like, when you guys may know this about me, but when I started playing guitar, it was because I wanted to be in a band. And right away, I just started a band and taught myself how to play while actively playing in bands. I didn't learn first and band later. I banded first and learned later, which is kind of backwards.
A little bit.
But I think a lot of people did that, especially in the music scene that I evolved out of.
And pre-YouTube days and all that.
Yeah, and pre-YouTube days. Yeah, right. No, because I learned how to play guitar by playing along with my mom's Sabbath and Zeppelin records. And I would sit there on my junky, stereophonic turntable, drop the needle and play along and stop it and play along until I got there. Eventually cassettes did make life a little bit easier, but you were never really truly in tune with the cassettes, especially if you had those boombox things, right? And you were trying to do it with batteries, and then the batteries would start to die on the boombox, and then it would be flat, and then, yeah. You kids today, you've got it so easy. You're like, I want to learn how to play this, I don't know, something song. And then sure enough, you can figure it out by looking at the interwebs.
Mm-hmm.
Good times.
Well, you literally had somebody show you how to make power chords, right?
I did. And he watches this show sometimes. His name is Rob Navarre. Went to high school with him. He came over one day and showed me the power chord. Changed my life. Mm-hmm. True story.
And here we are.
Thanks,
Rob Navarre.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah. Plays around the Detroit area. Local guy. Does a lot of solo gigs. I don't know what he's doing during the COVID. But here we are during the COVID. What else you got, LG? Talk to me. Does anybody care?
Well, okay, Vince asked, and I can't find his comment now, but I'll just say.
You're right, Vince.
He wants to know about a Ken Haas signature. He says, we talked about it a little bit last week.
Oh, you talked about it on the internet. Like I told everybody last week, Vince, this is it. I mean, just put that Huevos 90 pickup in the bridge, which of course requires a router. Yeah, the Huevos 90 Railhammer pickup is my favorite electric guitar pickup ever. I just, for whatever reason, man, it just clicks with me, and everything I plug it into sounds totally incredible. And so I love reverse headstocks. This is my favorite body shape. This is the Reverend. When I think of Reverend guitars, I think of this body shape. I think of the Jetstream. I played a 10th anniversary Jetstream for eons in the Polka Floyd show. Love that guitar, and it is reminiscent of the OG body shape from the Slingshots and Roccos and such. It was born of that. This is my favorite one of Naylor's designs, and where it is now with the belly cut, because I grew one of these bad boys I say that I grew one. I, I always had that. And then the arm contour and such. This pickguard, everything about this guitar is my favorite stuff that Joe has ever done. And then when you throw in the reverse headstock on the dark roasted neck, I mean, if I had to pick a signature guitar, it'd be this. Yeah. So there you have it, Vince. I love this thing, and thank you, Matt, for allowing me to make this happen. Indeed.
Let's see. People have all kinds of pickup questions.
Oh man, I would love to take some pickup questions.
Darrell wants to know if we do custom P90s or other P90 options other than the 9A5.
We do not. The 9A5 is the current evolution of Naylor's soap bar pickup, and it like everything else that Joe does, it sort of comes from years of oh, I like this, and then you hear it for a few years, and then he's like, I wonder if I did X, or I wonder if I did Y, and then we try that out, and we end up where we're at. For years, Joe liked the way he did the pickups was with the ceramic magnet and specific winding and wire gauge, and we used to tell people, you just can't. You have to judge these things with your ears. You can't judge them with your eyes, And I think way too often in this business, guys get tripped up on specifications, and they're like, well, I heard that Alnico 14 accentuates this mid-frequency that, yeah. Now, all that stuff, while it can be very interesting, ultimately your ears have to be the judge. And Joe was very, very funny because we sort of succumbed to that marketing to a certain extent, right? People say, why don't you use Alnico magnets? Why don't you use Alnico magnets? And Joe's like, well, I got the pickups. It doesn't have anything to do with, it's not like ceramic magnets are that much cheaper or cheaper at all. The reason why we did the CP90s the way we did them for so many years is because they sounded great. And when it came time to do the Alnico magnet thing, a lot of that decision was made for marketing reasons. And one of the things that we needed to do was make this pickup have similar tonal properties to the CP90s, which it does. But there's an extra element to it. There's an extra. It sounds like such a silly thing for me to say because you guys know I do not believe in acoustic guitars at all. I don't even understand why they exist because the technology has moved so far beyond that. Look at how you're watching me now. We're able to broadcast live TV on a whim.
Around the world.
Yet there's still guys running around with boxes with holes in them playing guitar. It's downright goofy. But some people, of course, do it very well, and I'm just kidding. But there's something about this version of the P90. There's like a spanky thing that's going on there. Just works. It's cool. What else you got, LG?
Darren would like to know why not do a P90 sized rail hammer, rail 90?
Yes, the rail 90 is discussed here and there. It's another one of those things. So there's a marketing reason to do that for sure, but there's not a sonic reason to do that off the top of our heads just yet.
But what about just the sizing factor?
Yes.
Because the humbuckers just drop
Right. And so the railhammer was created to solve an issue that Joe felt that traditional humbuckers had. And Joe wanted to combine the sound of the traditional humbucker with the sound of the P90, which is why the hum cutters were born. And he wanted to offer the clarity of single coils and the string to string, note separation of single coils in a humbucker package So the rail hammer was born in a humbucker to solve those problems, or to create a sound, right? The P90 tone is its own voice, and so doing a rail hammer under a P90 cover would just be like, this is one of these things. So stacked P90s, cool, right? But they don't sound like P90s. When you get those noiseless ones, P100s, I think some company makes that we don't discuss, and other companies make sort of where they stack them. They sound good. They don't really sound like P90s anymore. And one of my favorites is the DiMarzio stuff, and even the TV Jones stuff. I love what Tom Jones does, and he puts his pickups under P90 covers, and so then what always happens is then I see people say, well, that doesn't sound like a P90. Well, no, it's not supposed to sound like P90. It's supposed to sound like a TV Jones pickup. You're just able to put it in here, right? And is that what that's what you're getting at?
Yeah.
And that's what it would be. So we wouldn't want to like confuse the issue, right? The other thing that that you should realize too about the rail hammer thing is that there are completely custom parts involved in that pickup. So when a company makes a traditional humbucker, and I'm talking about, like a Seth Lover or whatever, there's the parts that go into making a pickup like that have been around forever, right? The rail hammer stuff has completely custom bobbins, completely custom cover. Everything had to be machined and specced out and made in order to make those pickups. And the same thing would happen with the P90. Like, we would be starting from scratch. We get asked about doing a 7-string version all the time. And again, we're starting from scratch doing that. So as goofy as this sounds, and nobody ever wants to talk about this because it doesn't matter what it costs, we should just do it because it's cool. But I mean, at some point, we have to sit and analyze, well, how many I've been wrestling with the 7-string thing for years. How many 7-string pickups are we going to sell if we take the plunge? What's it going to cost us up front to do it? And then I get close to making the 7-string pickups, and then all of a sudden everybody that's playing the 7 strings is using the weird band frets, and the pickups are offset at angles, right, and all this. We can't approach that. So if we do a regular 7-string humbucker, and then, well, you got to make it like this, you got to make it like that, it's getting convoluted, for us in the replacement pickup business. So, and of course, Reverend's not really going to approach that market, as it were. So, at any rate, so I don't. Boy, you asked a question, and I just blah 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 with the oral diarrhea there. Sorry about that, folks. But yes, I think about that stuff all the time, and Joe does too, and the rail hammer pickup thing is starting to do pretty well. We're having a really good year with the rail hammers this year, and part of that could be the COVID, because people were sitting around the home and they're like, oh, I'm going to try this pickup. I'm going to swap this pickup out. I'm going to do this, doing that. Reverb went nuts. People buying and selling stuff and getting rid of their used stuff and buying new stuff and wanting to check out pickups and this and that. And so, and then on our social media presence, I mean, stuff has been very busy with Railhammer, not just sales, but I mean, even thanks you guys for paying attention to what we're doing. We're cutting some videos. As a matter of fact, I think you should grab me that guitar that's back there behind the bench, because I want to play a song for one of our viewers. But we should, we'll get to that. Thank you for the, she's looking at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Edgerton guitar is right back there in its case.
I can't see it from here.
And I learned a song on that specifically because somebody asked me to. And I wanted to put it next to me here, and even though this is the Reverend thing, I was going to give somebody a Railhammer treat.
Well, what kind of pickup is in that? What kind of Railhammer is in that?
Chisel.
Okay. You want it right now?
Sure. Unless you got more questions for me.
I have tons more questions.
Oh, well then let's knock out some questions. And then, you know what, I'll do that on the outro.
Sounds good.
I'll do the Adam Bomb, stay tuned.
Like he's going anywhere.
Well, you never know. Sometimes people get sick of listening to me
Blather on.
And so you watch the viewership, and when I start on a rant like I just did, then people are just going away like, yeah, you're coming to get a cup of coffee.
See what's going on Instagram instead.
Yeah.
No. Kevin says, you rave about those Huevos 90s so much.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any of those in any Reverend models or plans?
Yeah, the Aersonic W has the Huevos in the bridge and the Nuevo in the neck.
What's in the Charger RA?
Charger RA is a Hyper Vintage in the bridge and Nuevo 90 in the neck.
Oh, Nuevo, not Huevo.
Yes.
Yes.
But the Huevos is just a bridge pickup, sort of like, so the Huevos 90 is to the humcutter line as the Anvil and the Alnico Grande are to the humbucker line within Railhammer. The Huevos is just, it's a very, very hot bridge pickup. I like the staggered thing with that because it just works. It just totally works.
Joe asks, any chance of this model or the Ashton 390 in limited edition flake run?
There's always a chance. I don't have any plans to do this in a flake right now, but I can tell you that we just shipped 16 blue metal flake double agents to Wildwood Guitars. And our blue flake is stunning. And this is a gorgeous, gorgeous guitar.
Well, sparkle is your favorite color, so you're a little biased.
I like black guitars. They match my soul.
Oh, come on. Sure. John would like to know what the best Reverend option is to get that SG or LP tone.
Sensei and or Roundhouse model. I mean, the new Roundhouse sort of
you've got right there over your shoulder.
crushes that thing. Yeah, as a matter of fact. It's a good point, LG.
I know.
LG makes good points. I'll play this for a sec. I ain't scared. This here is a special piece. Has been tuned up in a minute. Sorry about that. This is a Wildwood exclusive Roundhouse in Faded Burst. Our Faded Burst has been around since 2005, 2006. It was one of the original colors on the Charger HB, and has been in the line ever since. This is the Wildwood exclusive Faded Burst Roundhouse HB, and if you'll notice on the back of the headstock there, can you see it, LG? How am I doing?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't think they can read it. But
this is Reverend guitar number 40,000, and 21, 22, 23 years it took us to get to 40,000 guitars. Mm-hmm. And so I had, of course, when we hit a milestone, I have everybody that's in the building sign the back of the headstock, and I thought that this was a fun guitar to have for that 40,000. Somebody likes that woman tone. Here is the MXR Super Badass with the neck pickup on this thing, and let's do that over jazz just to be obnoxious. Because that's what I do. That's the most fun I'm going to have all day. Mm-hmm. It's true. God, just look at this beauty. Forgot about that one. I didn't.
You did not either.
I know. It's actually on a stand in my office, and it's what I see when I look up from my desk is this guitar. Yeah, it's true.
Brad would like to know, is the reverse headstock on the Matt West purely aesthetic, or is there a functional purpose behind it?
Oh, there's a can of worms.
Yeah.
Big old can of worms. So some people like to say that the reverse headstock changes the string tension and the overall fundamental feel of the guitar because the low E string is longer from its tuner to its point of impact in the bridge, and the high E string is shorter. And so you have to crank it more to get it in tune, holding that bottom string tighter. Some people say that the tension strength is the same to get it to pitch no matter how long the string is, and so it makes absolutely no difference whatsoever. I like to say that it effing looks cool, and it does.
Well,
So
talk
that,
about the tuning.
well, yeah, then the tuning thing. So for those of you with 3+3 headstocks who are used to tuning like this and tuning like this, you don't give a crap, and I don't blame you. But for my own personal use, I like the reverse headstock because you play in this position and your hand is in this position, and then if your E string goes a little flat, you go, it's right there. All the strings right there. You don't have to do this. There's two. But if you have been playing with the tuning pegs on the top for your whole life, for 40 years or whatever, then you're not going to be as comfortable with that. I am. So I think it's more of an aesthetic thing and more of a feel thing for me personally, but there's lots of people that have lots of opinions on that. The mighty Dick Dale used to claim that his super bright and percussive E string tone on the songs like Miser Lou and whatnot, where he, went on that low E string hard, that telephone cable 68 or 72 or whatever that thing was that he had on that guitar. One of the reasons why it sounded so awesome was because he played a right-hand guitar upside down, left-handed, and the E string was that super long scale length, and he claimed that that was part of his signature tone, which is why his signature Fender Strat has a reverse headstock. And I'm not going to argue with Dick Dale. R.I.P. I'm still not going to argue with him. Yeah, he knew karate, and he'll come kick my ass right. His ghost will come kick my ass right here.
Right,
I don't want a piece of that. Yeah, so can of worms there, bud. I'm not, like I said, all I'm going to go with is I think it looks super damn cool.
Relatedly, Darren says he's torn between the Matt West and the Jetstream 390. And says a 390 with a reversed headstock would be perfect.
Sorry, buddy. We gotta, we just kind of do what we do. And right now, this is what we do. Yes, I agree that would be awfully neat. But we leave that reverse headstock to our friend Matt and our good friend Tommy Coffin, the Coffin Cats. They are my reverse headstock guys, and the reverse headstocks are exclusive to their models out of respect.
And then I've got a couple of, let's take this question, and then I'll go to my couple of questions.
All right. Speed round.
What would you say is the strongest selling point of the new Robin Fink signature model over a Sensei?
Man, that's a tough question. The interesting thing about the Robin Fink Sensei is it's more of a tribute guitar to Robin. Than it is a ground up signature model like some of the things that we do, like the Space Hawk for Reeves, where we got real funky with the design and stuff. And Greg's guitar, Rick Vito's guitar, the Soul Shaker, whatever. Robin just loved the Sensei, and we didn't alter a lot of the features of the Sensei RA in order to go into production on that guitar with Mr. Fink. We just, like I said, we just removed that volume control, or moved the volume control down and got rid of the tone, because he's just volume control and bass contour all the way. Loves the chisel pickups, but really sort of dug the black and the white thing. So I don't have a real big selling point for you for the Robin Fink over one of the Sensei models, other than if you like the aesthetic, sweet. And if you're a fan of Mr. Robin and the 9 Inch Nails, then sweet. It is a badass little guitar, man. It just absolutely crushes. I think I answered that okay.
And then I have a couple of 21 questions.
Oh boy, here we go.
One, can you give any hints to what's coming down the pipeline?
Nope. Next.
That was easy.
Now, Greg already gave a huge hint, so I mean, just check out some of Greg's live feeds and you'll see something that's coming down the pike, but it's not coming down the pike till next year. So, but it will be out next year. Might not even be January, but it will be out next year in the first quarter.
But there's more than just that.
There is more than just that. Yes, we have other things going on.
And we're going to have to see how 2021 shakes out. If we do a big launch with everything in January, if we have a trade show, or if we don't, then maybe we'll do a little bit
Yeah,
at a time.
maybe
or
we'll
something.
sneak some stuff out. Yeah.
And then Gary would like to know if 2021 will be the year that Reverend enters the guitar pedal market.
No, no, I'm good. Pedals and amps there are so many companies that are doing that stuff right that I just don't have anything to add at the moment, you know. Joe designed those cool drivetrain pedals with Bob Wheel, and those are cool, and you can grab those out there. But the Visual Sound, which became True Tone, those guys are doing amazing work, and they've got all of their they offer a version of that. I don't know. Do they still make their little drivetrain? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
But of course, we have all of our friends at Earthquaker Devices who have shown us just how creative pedal making can be, and so they're out there doing that. And who else? Geez, we have so many friends in the pedal world. I just don't even know what to say. I've been using JHS overdrive pedals. I think they're just awesome, man. I got an Angry Charlie, and I just love that thing. Penny, how do you feel about grabbing me that guitar while you have your lab off?
I feel pretty good. I was just going to bring the lab with me.
Oh, you're just going to let everybody listen?
I'm mobile.
Going to let everybody listen to you open the guitar case?
Why not?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
All right.
We'll see how this goes.
And so pedal question. Yeah, and it's certainly, I'm certainly, nobody is going to be as creative as Earthquaker. I mean, Jamie and his team over there are making some of the most amazing pedals I've ever heard. And I've got, as a matter of fact, I play with this afterneath all the time because just about every situation, I'm just amazed. So yeah, that market's very crowded, and I like it, but I don't want to be a part of it. And it's the same with the amplifiers. Joe did some great work working with other people, because Joe's ear is so good when it comes to amps, and the Hellhound and the King Snake and the Goblin are terrific sounding amplifiers. The Naylor Super Drive 60 is just a studio mainstay all over the world, of course. I don't think there's anything to add beyond those. And with people like Steve Carr and this Rolla guy, don't get me started, and Dave Friedman, and then even the big brands, you know. I mean, I've been playing with a pair of deluxe reissues that sound just awesome, that take pedals really super well. Yeah, High Watt, of course. Orange, our good friends at Orange Amplifiers. We shoot a lot of Railhammer demo videos through a 100-watt Orange Rectiverb head that sounds, the gain on it's just super mean. Yeah, I don't really see us entering those marketplaces. Anything else, LG?
Adam pointed out that you left out the Shade Balderos signature model, which also has a reverse headstock.
Good point.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point. You know, because I was thinking bolt-on necks the whole time I was having that conversation.
Interesting.
I wasn't necessarily thinking about the set neck thing. All right, folks, we're going to go. It was fun hanging out with you today. I understand that this is an Ernie Ball guitar. Happens. Guitar happens. That's the thing about having different headstocks all the time. And then I get to the 4+2, and I have no idea how to even, I have no idea where to begin on tuning it. But one of the things that we do around here at the Circle I Ranch for fun is we get guitars from our friends at other manufacturers and our artist friends that we're buddies with that don't necessarily play Reverends, but we're still friends with. And there's a guy who some of us are really good friends with, Stephen Edgerton from the band The Descendants and all. And he is just an absolutely amazing player and one of my biggest inspirations for playing guitar to begin with. I saw the Descendants in 1988 while they were on the All Tour, summer of '88. It might have been summer '87. Jason Bose knows. I was there with him. And that was the first go around with Carl Alvarez and Stephen Edgerton, and that record is amazing. And then of course they formed the band All, and were good friend of Reverend. Dave Smalley was the original singer for All. Dave has a bunch of really cool new projects going right now, but of course there's Down by Law, and his Banditos, and there's so many cool things that Smalley does. This whole group of guys that I grew up just idolizing as a late teenager have all become friends of ours, which is amazing. This year, during the COVID, at the start of COVID, Ernie Ball launched this Stephen Edgerton signature model, and I grabbed one in order to do some Railhammer testing with it. Notice it doesn't have any controls, which is kind of awesome. It makes it kind of an awesome pickup testing guitar because this is the chisel just running right out of this. Adam, you're going to have to bear with me because I did not practice this morning. I practiced this a lot last weekend, but you talked about this last week, and it got me thinking about the song, and I had completely forgotten about the song, and so I grabbed this guitar and figured this out for you. Everybody I'm going to do a proper Railhammer demo video with this guitar, and I'm going to play this song hopefully better than I play it right now. But everybody have a fantastic weekend. Thanks for tuning in today from the Circle R Ranch. Oddly, going out with the Stephen Edgerton Ernie Ball. Ah! Have a good weekend.